So I'm going to have Mike and Ben demonstrate. We're going to do the 4 basic applications of Juji Gatame as we teach here at Welcome Mat. The first one will be the spinning Juji Gatame, and basically from the back or down position, Mike is spinning under Ben and doing it. So just another basic, this is the basic application when they're on the knees, roll them over, and we have the Juji Gatame, he rolls back. So he's spinning under him, okay? Some cases the top guy may pop up a knee, and in that case you'll spin under him and roll him over. This is just a variation of the basic. We just want to include this here. So you can see when he might pop up to pass the guard or something, and you catch it. So as soon as Mike feels Ben move his knee up, he spins under and catches it. Just one more time there, the basic way to do that, guys. Pop up, spin under, and catch it. And there we have that. We have other videos specifically on this on our YouTube site. And we also have another one if he pops up on both feet, and what Mike wants to do is prevent Ben from standing up and pulling him up off the mat, and he will spin under him almost 180 degrees and spin under and roll him over. And notice how he's placing his leg, Mike's placing his leg over Ben's head. One more time, guys, and I'll get a little further backup view here. See how leg over, and he spins under and he rolls him over. And again, there are a lot of variations of this, but this is the basic application. Eric is on his knees, just on his knees, and we're grappling, and we're going to take it on 2 levels. If Derek is on his knees and he wants to do Juji Gatame, okay? So what he's going to do, he's going to pop up on one foot, he's going to swing under and hit that Juji Gatame, okay? Now, another way we did, we jammed the knee across the shin, the way, Eric, you like to do this, is, okay, so he comes up on one knee, and like you did before, and now watch Derek swing that shin under, okay? That's another way you might like Eric's on his knees, Derek is standing controlling him, he wants to do Juji Gatame from this position, okay? So go ahead, big guy, and let him have it. Swing under, and you can catch it quite well from that position. If that guy is on his knees, he doesn't think you're going to do Juji Gatame. That's the last thing in the world he thinks you're going to do. And that's a really good way of doing it. It's just like if he were standing, except you're just going lower and under. Now, the other way that you might jam your leg across in his ribs, your shin across in his ribs, is that way. Some of you may like that, okay? An interesting technique, and I think you'll have fun doing it. When John and I and Bill were back in the old days, when the Soviets and the Sambo, they came along and they did what we call the flying Juji Gatame, the flying arm lock. Well, you're not really flying. There's a method to it. It's really a transition move to get them down, but it does look like you're jumping up and flying across it. It's a pretty cool move. And people, we've been playing with it, and it's with some success, some not. I think we got it down pretty good, really. And it's something you can do with a good ratio of success. It is not a trick move like some people think it is. So it is a solid fundamental skill. I don't know if it's fundamental, but it's a solid skill that can be done. So I want to preface this with saying that. So be careful, practice it. We're going to teach it to you safely here.
Okay. So towards Steve's point, this is all going to basically flow from the same position that we were working before with the collar tie. You could do it from the head and arm, but we're going to step back a bit from that. So when we're doing the Tomoe Nage to Juji, the idea is to get yourself safely onto the ground you know, shrimping in. And once you guys have gotten that idea, you've basically got the framework for doing a flying armbar. The only difference is you've got to be a little bit more aggressive with your hold on. You know, you really got to think about the guy as your safety line. Okay, the last thing I want to do is jump up, not have a good grip on his arm and shoulder, fall down, and I fall 5 feet down and thump myself. Or even worse, he goes, side, wham. You know, we've all seen the YouTube videos. Okay, so we're going to keep a good grip on him, and how I know I can hit this one as a flying instead of a Tomoe-Nage Juji is if I can pull his head into my shoulder. Okay, if his head is there, he's toast. Okay, I know I can hit it. If he's out here, I still might try it, but I wouldn't recommend that until you get a good handle on it. All right, so if he's out here and you're even remotely worried, go Tomoe-Nage Juji until you feel like you can do that in your sleep. If you can do this, great, go for it. Okay. So the key here that we're going to do is as we come through, before we were taking that step to the side, we were throwing the foot up, and then we were rotating down. What I want to do now is curl under as tightly as you can. Okay? I'm not going to throw my leg up here into this armpit. I'm not going to throw this one up there or this one up there. It's the same exact motion I was doing before. This foot comes up here, and then as I rotate under, we transition to the ground. About halfway through, I kick my foot in front of his face. Okay? Keep a hold of everything until you flip him over. All right? So I got to get control of him, step to the side. Okay? Over he goes. Okay? Look, just like the Tomoe-Nage Juji, right? The only difference is I was in midair when I got the foot over. Right? When I do Tomoe-Nage Juji, my back is on the ground already. Okay?
That's the big difference between the flying arm lock and Tomoe-Nage Juji.
Right.
We've spent a lot of time looking at this. We really have, and that's the big difference. You're really jumping up on him, and as you kick your leg over his head, you're spinning on him doing the Juji Gatame. You could also do the leg jam into the ribs, you know. But this is pretty much basic way we can show you.
You can do it the other way too. I find again you have to be a little bit more dynamic to do it that way. Okay.
Like Eric, you like that version. I know you do. Yeah.
Eric has that one very, very well. However, again, if you have to take some steps, do it the first way, okay? How many of you have heard my back thump on the mat? Right? Okay, now, you'll hear it this time because there's going to be lots of space. Right? What happened? Okay? Too much space. Okay? So that's why I say get the head on the shoulder. Boom, lock, lock. Step to the side. Over we go. Okay.
See, there's some key points there. They're really subtle. That's why he wants to park that guy's, Mike's, in this case, Mike, his partner. He's parking, he's anchoring that head, and he's using that head to keep himself up so he can jump under him, to spin under him, rather than spin it like Tomoe-Nage and go under him. That's why it works.
Pull yourself up, swing under. Yes, you're jumping a little bit, but you're just as much collapsing in your grip so that you stay at that nice tight rotation. Okay? The more distance you have here, the less you're using him like a rope, the more you're going to thump when you hit. Okay? Right. All right, let's try that.
Let's give it a try.
Oh, one more time?
One more time?
Right,
okay.
More time.
Let me get a little closer
Relax
here.
him in, step to the side.
And there we go.
Good.
That's the standard version of the jumping Juji Gatame, flying Juji Gatame, call it what you wish. It's a good tap out.
Oh, come on.
Hey, Eric, let me put you on the spot. Can you work with one of the guys? Show your version where you jam the knee across the ribs, because that's a great variation too. That one there, uh-huh.
Here you go.
And that's and the reason you like that is because you have very long limbs. You have long legs, and it works for you. It works for you quite well.
Foundation from the first time. If I showed that in the very beginning, I don't think I can do that.
So that's a great variation that has a great element of success as well. So it's kind of a knee jam flying Juji Gatame, isn't it? We do it off the back. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and switch up to the back roll Juji Gatame. So go ahead and do the spin and stretch drill. Basically, anytime you throw an opponent and hover over him and roll back onto your back, we call this the back roll juji. And there are a lot of variations of it. This is a basic application. Spin and roll him back and over. One more time. You can see how Mike is, as he takes Ben down, we're simulating a throw, takes him to the ground, squats, and he rolls onto his back. That's what we call it, the back roll juji, okay? Guys, I'll keep doing it from the same angle. I'll come around to the back, and what we're going to show then is how Mike does roll onto his back, and he steps over, and he just rolls directly onto his back as he traps the arm, stretching Ben's arm. Okay, that's the second. So that's a back roll, and that's just one application.
Go with a rollback juji, the back roll juji. But watch this. Before we were coming up and pinning him, but now let's say we want to get that arm lock right away. Okay, in this particular sense, we'll do another one in a bit with this sense here. So when Derek's going to come, Mike, yeah, come up on that one. When Derek drags him, pops him down, he comes up, and as soon as he comes up, he's really low, and he's immediately going for that arm. And you notice he didn't sit up like, you know, like in a mount situation. Do it where you just sit up and do it wrong, you know. And he comes up and he sits up wrong. He's giving Mike too much space there, okay? And then, yeah, you don't want to do that. See how clumsy that was on the swing over and the roll back? He wants to do it very compact. So when Mike comes up, he drags, he comes up, stays really round. See how, and then he comes right over and he goes right back. So as you saw the kind of sequence there, Derek was dragging with his right hand, and he's going to opposite leg, to the opposite arm of Mike. So he rolls up, and look, you got the opposite, we got Mike's right arm. See that? And he rolls right into the juji. So that's another variation. If you don't want to pin him, you want to go right to the juji from here. Okay? These guys demo one more time. Now watch how he drags, he stays really compact, and then he starts coming over. See, now he's doing it slow. But you see, out of the way. Yeah, you don't want to kick him. And you roll him back. See that? Did that make sense to everybody? So if you don't want to come up and be high on him because you're letting him off the hook. You want to stay as low as you can. As soon as you drag him, stay low, fairly close space there, and then start to take the juji. All right? Let's work on that, and then we'll move on to another variation. We got you guys down. However you got him down, you're sitting on him in the chest position, mount, straddle hold. I may hold him like a pin or something. I want to finish him off like in Sambo, freestyle judo, or an MMA fight. I just want to finish him off, okay? All right, so let's think about controlling him. If I'm sitting back here like in a mountain position, I'm sitting my hips on his hips, and I can pummel him and do all that cool stuff. But I want to get an arm lock, okay? That's my... The most obvious one is a bent arm lock. They're the highest percentage, but I'm going to go for a juji in this particular case because I like juji. All roads lead to juji, as we like to say. But really, the more effective one probably would be a bent arm lock of some type, udigurami. But I'm going to go for a juji in this case because I like it. So we're fighting him. Now, when I do this, I'm sitting kind of in a normal mount position. I'm going to move up on him. I have to because I have to be in position. So I'm working up here. I want to make sure I come up high where my knees are now trapping his armpits. I got him under the shoulders, okay? What's that doing? It's bunching his shoulders up, guys, okay? So we're here, and I'm bunching him up. Now I kind of have a choice which way I like to go. He may present that opportunity. He may reach for me. If he does, that's the obvious choice. Or he may be trying to pop him in, save himself. Then I'm going to have to dig for him to start working. In any event, let's say I'll go for this arm. In any event, if I have to dig for it and go cup it in, start pulling it, control it, you want to trap it first, slide over, start trapping it, okay? Now at this point, I've got to start the arm lock going, okay? And now I'm just going to turn my body. So and I might even pop up, you know, trap him here as well. But I'm going to start working up. See how I'm slowly but surely, don't try to make some big movement and jump up. You can, but if he's got a brain in his head and knows how to fight, he's not going to stay there. He's going to get out of there. So I've got to start bunching him up. See gradually, and I'm trapping continually. This foot drags a bit down here, but this is the important one right here. I want to get this position the best I can up behind his neck, okay? At that point, that's my base. All right, I'm trapping as low as I can. I might even still be down here, okay? But now at this point, I pop up, and I'm squatting on him. My heel is right in his ribs over here. See, I'm like this. And I just go ahead and take it back. Juji, finish out. So it's not a slow, but it's an incremental process. Slowly, but not so slowly, but surely, I'm crawling up and getting around from that mount position to a juji. Everybody see how I kept working up there? First thing, get up high up on him, trap his under his arms, and start scrunching him, you know, and come up. That's the side I'm going to roll to. Bring that up first. Keep working. Now, once I've established that, I may even have to post here, pop up, and catch him. And then, when I roll back, I'll kick my leg over his head. A lot of people like to keep it, but not a lot. Some people will keep their foot under the guy's head when they finish it. I see that in Sambo, and that's okay, but you've got to have control of that head. Come on back here. All right, when you're coming over the top and you're doing all this stuff, and I've trapped him on control, pop up here. That pop up. When I roll back, I want to kick over as quick as I can. I don't want that there. Some guys do that. I think they think it's cool. I don't know. It may work, but I've never seen it really work that well. I want to trap that as best I can to pry it and catch it. So that's the juji from that position.
The third application of the basic applications is the head roll juji. So basically you're getting on top of your opponent and rolling him in the direction of his head and rolling him over into Juji Gatame, as you can see Mike do here, and he rolls him right over. And there are a lot of applications of this, and this is a very a good arm lock in competitive judo, sambo, MMA, submission grappling, whatever it may be. Head roll Juji Gatame is a very popular way of rolling an opponent over. And if you've seen Ronda Rousey in some of her MMA fights, she uses this with great effectiveness, her version of it. So basically you hook under, put the knee over the head, and roll him over. You notice how Ben is rolling in the direction of his head, rolling over his head. Okay, Mike, do it one more time. I'll try to get a little closer view. As you see, Mike jumps on, he hooks a leg in, and what he's going to do is anchor a leg. Stop there for a second, Mike. We're going to come around and see where you can see how his leg position is. Look at his right leg. It's anchored on Ben's hip. His left leg is pushing down on the back of Ben's head. Okay, as he's doing this, as Mike is doing this, he's posting on top of his head for balance. Okay, now look at Mike's left arm. He's hooked Ben's right arm, or yeah, his right arm, there we go, hooking it. And what he's going to do, he's going to roll onto his left hip as he rolls Ben over. He might grab Ben's leg or hook Ben's leg. That's totally up to him. And he rolls him over, kicks over, and he finishes with the Juji Gatame, stretching it out, trapping the arm and stretching it.
Okay, popped him down, snapped him down, threw him, there he is. Okay, let's work on a very efficient way to roll the guy, and we're going to cover some things that we were discussing earlier in the conversation. So he hops to the side. Now let's look at how he controls. Okay, so go ahead and start your move and start your thing.
Okay.
Do your head roll.
Okay.
Now, let's look at some things that Derek's doing here. Okay, he's climbed all over the bottom man, obviously. All right, so what has he done? With his left leg, he's jammed it through here, and he's, with his left foot, he's anchoring the hip and the leg of the bottom man. Eric, see how he's anchoring? That's really important, because that gives him a base to start working. He's got to have an anchor. Now, second thing, he's not quite at an L shape, but he's close, okay? But he's on the top of his head. He's not laying on one side or the other on a shoulder. He has to be posted on, if he's doing that, he's not going to get the arm lock. He's got to be posted on top of his head. So by posting on the very top of his head and anchoring, look at the position he's in now. This is a ride. This is a controlling position, okay? Now, he's initially hooked with his left hand as an initial hook, as an initial trap. Okay, he's doing that on purpose so he can get his base. He may need to base out here, may need to post here, that's fine. But now what he's going to do, and this is what John and I were talking about, he's going to, with his right hand, and the hand closest to the head, he's going to just bam, he's going to hook it hard. He's going to hit it, it's like an uppercut, wham. And as he does that, he's going to drive his knee over the back of the head, and he's going to sit on that hip. He rolls him over. So it's a ballistic, explosive movement. So I anchor, I position myself, I ride. Okay, I'm controlling, bam. Now watch, he hits, and he catches the roll.
Top, Mike on the bottom, and he's got him in a good leg press, Derek does on Mike, okay? This is a really good move. It really fools a lot of people. Let's drill on this tonight. So a lot of guys on the bottom, like Mike, they'll try to sit up to escape, okay? They'll try to sit up, and as he does that, Derek lets him sit up, and he rolls with them and does a head roll juji, okay? Let's come on back and let's look at that again, guys. This is a really good, we want to call it a sucker move, but you know, it does require some skill on the bottom guy's part to know enough to get up and try to sit up and get out of it. But look at this. Kick the knee over the head. Kick it over. Okay, I'm going to come from a different, go ahead and start same position, Derek. I'll come from a different. Look at how this starts. It's not that hard to do. Just practice it and know how to do it. Mike sits up. As he does, Derek rolls in that direction. He puts his shin over the back of the head. Head roll Juji Gatame. Keep rolling him. Now, it's really important that Derek do this. When he rolls, in this case to his right, rolling toward Mike's legs, look how he's really trapping with his arm. It's very important, that trap. And look at the foot on the back of the head. So that forces Mike to keep rolling so he doesn't bail out at the last minute, and he catches and takes him over, okay? All right, so let's look at that one more time. So when Mike sits up, and a lot of guys want to sit up to escape, let him sit up. In this case, head roll juji time. Head right over, keep rolling, use his momentum against him. And you notice he finished with that, he trapped and levered all the way out. You don't wait to get him back on his back to have to do all that work again. You want that arm stretched. Do one more time where you show that stretch. Watch the finish. The finish is really important here because he's already been there. Derek doesn't want to have to go back there again and fight again, and he catches and he really wants to trap and finish out quickly. So it's a head roll juji from the leg press position. If you're on the bottom, we want to continually roll. So you try spinning Juji Gatame, it just doesn't work. This is like a plan B, okay? And for guys who want to get good at arm locks, this is a great way to do it. So Derek, I'm going to have you go ahead and coach us through them and whatever you want to do here.
So a lot of times it results from the fact that the guy's kind of stuffed this leg over here. So instead of continuing to go through, I'm going to hit back out this way, keep a hold of the arm. Remember, we're always putting that elbow in the chest or the sternum because that means I've got control of it. And as I pop back out, this knee is still in the same spot it was before, but I'm going to try and push it down onto the ground so I can head roll. Collect the head again, and we just finish.
See, so what happens, guys, you're starting with a spinning Juji Gatame from the bottom or bottom guard position, and he thinks he's relatively safe. He may try to crowd that. So you can see how he's how Eric on top there is, bam, he's getting down on his head on the chest. You know, a lot of times that will stop your move, but if you know what to do from here, if you're the guy on the bottom like Derek is, you know what to do is start to recover it and take control, take back control. Keep improving your position basically and see how you roll it over. And in this way, this leads to, like we always say, stay round in ground fighting. This way, because you may not get the first attempt at your Juji Gatame. You may have to get a second or third one. So here you go, roll them over. Okay, maybe roll them again. Sit up again and fight it a bit, Eric. Fight just like you're fighting it a bit. You may have to go, hey, a second round through, and then kick it over. Bam, I'm sorry. So you see how that happens. So let's work on that skill. One more time. Derek, if you show that one more time to the guys. So here's the skill we're going to work on tonight, guys. Spin under, spinning Juji, kick over, and roll over into your Juji Gatame. And Eric's going to make it tough on him. He's going to have a second time around through. Okay, there you go. In other words, stay with the arm. All right? Want to give that a try? Okay, pretty basic skill, but I'll tell you what, this is how to win with Juji Gatame in a real situation. It's a great move. Okay. So here we go. I said one of the key. Fourth application of the basic applications is the hip roll Juji. Basically rolling your opponent in the direction of his hip. Rolling him that way, okay? Let's see that again. Mike's going to do it here. He's going to hop over, hooks, and he rolls over his shoulder in the direction of Ben's hip, okay? And you can see how it's basically, he traps Ben's arm, Mike does, and he does a shoulder roll. Hook, there you go, and he's hooking, rolling over his right shoulder, in that case, trapping the arm. So he's rolling into the direction of the bottom man's hip. One more time, Mike, in a hip roll Juji. And there we have it there. And again, there are a lot of applications of this and variations of it.
Around the block a few times, he may peel that off, and he doesn't want that on the back of his head, okay? And what Derek's going to do, he's going to try and hook there, he's going to go reverse the direction. He's going to roll in the direction of his hip. That's why we named it hip roll and head roll. You're rolling in the direction of his head. In this case, you're rolling in the direction of his hip. So there we go. So you may have this set, and the guy peels that off and stops it, okay? Or whether he lifts his head just like you did, okay? Of a posturality, so he could, okay? So in that case, slip it back under, reverse the direction, roll toward the direction of his hip. So that's why it's vital that you don't drop on one shoulder or the other. You stay posted on your head when you do this. So boom, he's popping in there. Now see how he's posted. Now see that and he goes the other direction. And there you go. And that works really well. Or chin whip. Yeah, chin whip. That's right.
An important add-on to that, guys. When you're coming through for this, okay, I'm not just putting my foot there, okay? Because then I might do this. And again, he snaps and pulls his arm out. Okay? You're squeezing his face between your heel and the back of your thigh.
You're hooking. That's a hook.
Hook, squeeze. Okay, and then you just have to turn over and his head goes
like you said, it's like a chin whip.
Yeah.
It really is because you're whipping him back.
I call it Uchimata in his head.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, one more time so everybody can see it. So you can see, and you might just go for this move. There you go. So it's a good backup move, or it could be a good move. I found that two primary types of athletes like the hip roll over the head roll. Females, because of their wider hip structure, just the way they're built, they have a stronger hip structure than shoulder structure than men do, okay? That's females do. And also heavyweight men, because of the girth. It's just the way it is. So if that's the case, you make it work for you. We good? Let's give it a try.